Your cat does something, and you've probably already noticed it. Maybe they stare at you without blinking. Maybe they bring you something and just wait. Maybe they press their whole body against you for no reason you can name. It's easy to dismiss those moments as quirky cat stuff, but they're not random. Every single one of them is a message, and most people never decode a single one. If you've been missing these signals, you haven't just been confused about your cat's behavior. You've been missing what your cat has been trying to say to you, sometimes for years. Let's start with the one behavior almost every cat owner gets completely backwards. One, when they slow blink at you across the room. Have you ever been sitting quietly, looked up, and found your cat staring at you, and then, very slowly, closing their eyes? Most people assume their cat is just tired, zoning out, doing that strange thing cats do for no particular reason. But here's what's really happening. That slow, deliberate blink is one of the most intentional signals in the entire feline communication system. Your cat isn't drifting off. They're talking to you, closing their eyes in front of another being, a being that could, in their ancient wiring, register as a threat, is one of the most vulnerable things a cat can do. And they are choosing to do it while looking directly at you. Researchers at the University of Sussex studied this in 2020, testing whether slow blinking from owners actually influenced cat behavior. What they found was striking. Cats were significantly more likely to slow blink back at their owners, and the effect was strongest between bonded pairs, stronger than with strangers. That tiny exchange, lasting maybe 3 seconds, registered in the cat as something meaningful. That's not your cat spacing out. That's your cat saying, in the only way they know how, I trust you enough to go blind in front of you. And I want to plant something here, because we'll come back to it at the end. There is one behavior your cat does that looks, on the surface, like they've completely checked out of the relationship. Like they're indifferent. Like you don't matter. When you understand what it actually means, you will never read your cat's silence the same way again. 2. When they bring you something and just stare. Has your cat ever dropped something at your feet? A toy, a hair tie, something unidentifiable, and then stood completely still, looking at you like they were waiting for a response? Most people laugh it off or assume their cat wants to play, then go right back to whatever they were doing. But your cat wasn't waiting for you to throw it. They were waiting for you to understand it. Here's what most people don't realize. In the wild, mother cats carry prey back to their young. Not always to feed them immediately, but to teach them, to demonstrate what survival looks like up close. When your cat brings something to you, that same instinct is running. They've been watching you. You don't stalk anything. You don't chase. You walk to a cupboard and food appears. In their assessment, you need guidance. And rather than writing you off, they're stepping in. Animal behaviorist John Bradshaw has documented that domestic cats apply the same social behaviors toward humans that they use with other cats. They never developed a separate system for us. That gift placed at your feet fits within that framework, an extension of the same instinct that drives a mother to provide for the ones she's responsible for. That pile of offerings on your kitchen floor isn't clutter. It's your cat's ongoing attempt to make sure you survive. And hey, if this is changing the way you see your cat right now, hit that like button and subscribe. That's how we get these videos to more cat owners who want to understand what their cat has been trying to tell them all along. 3. When they chirp and chatter at the window. Have you ever watched your cat locked onto a bird outside the glass and heard that strange stuttering sound come out of them? Not a meow, not a growl, something in between, like their jaw is vibrating on its own. Most people read it as frustration. The cat wants the bird, can't get to it, and is venting. But here's what's really happening, and it's more layered than that. That chattering sound is one of the least understood vocalizations cats produce. One leading theory suggests it may be a reflex, an involuntary jaw movement that mirrors the precise biting motion a cat uses to deliver a killing strike. Your cat's body is rehearsing the hunt in real time, even from across the room, even through glass it can't pass through. Some researchers believe this connection runs even deeper. A study published in 2009 documented a wild felid, a margay, producing sounds that mimicked the calls of its prey to draw them closer. That finding suggested feline vocalizations during predatory focus may serve a more complex function than anyone previously assumed. The link to domestic cat chattering is still emerging, not settled, but it points towards something old and unresolved living inside that small jaw movement. That strange little sound isn't a glitch in your house cat's otherwise peaceful personality. It's a window into 10,000 years of predator wiring that no amount of indoor living has managed to erase. 4. When they sit with their back turned to you. Has your cat ever walked into the room, found a spot right beside you, settled in, and then rotated completely away, back facing you, like you ceased to exist? Most people take it personally. The cat is aloof. The cat is dismissing them. Some owners have mentioned it feels like a small, quiet rejection every single time. Here's what's actually happening, and it flips the whole thing. In cat social language, turning your back to another individual is not dismissal. It is trust made physical. It means, I don't need to watch you. You are not a risk to me. I am relaxed enough in your presence to leave my most unguarded side facing away from the door. Consider what that means for an animal whose entire survival depends on spatial awareness, on knowing where the threat is coming from. Choosing to face away from you is choosing to hand you the angle they can't cover. Research on feral cat colonies supports this. Bonded individuals orient outward, presenting their backs to the companions they trust most. It's a posture that only emerges where safety has already been established. That 2-second choice, where to point their spine, is one of the quietest, most complete compliments your cat will ever give you. That's not your cat ignoring you. That's your cat at total ease. 5. When they need you slowly and press in hard. Has your cat ever climbed onto your lap or settled against your side and started pressing their paws in and out in that slow, rhythmic way, steady, unhurried, like they're working something into the surface that only they can sense? Most people know this traces back to kittenhood. Kittens need their mother to stimulate milk, so they file it away as a leftover comfort reflex, something their cat never fully outgrew. But here's what almost nobody mentions. Cats carry scent glands in the soft pads of their paws. Every press releases pheromones into whatever surface they're working. When your cat needs you, your legs, your stomach, the inside of your arm, they are not just self-soothing. They are marking you, embedding their chemical signature into your body in a slow, deliberate rhythm. In the architecture of feline social bonding, this is how they claim someone is belonging to them. Veterinary behaviorists have documented pheromone deposition through paw pads as a genuine marking behavior, distinct from the comfort origins of the motion itself. The two things exist together: the soothing rhythm inherited from infancy, and the territorial claiming that layers on top of it in adulthood. And here's where it gets even deeper. That pace your cat settles into, slow, even, without urgency, is a pace they only reach when their nervous system has fully let go. They're not just comfortable, they're home. That's not an old habit they never shed. That's a declaration. 6. When they follow you room to room without making a sound. Have you ever just moved through your day? From the kitchen to the bedroom, down the hall, into the bathroom, and looked down at some point to find your cat has been with you the entire time. Silent, not meowing, not nudging you, not asking for a single thing. Most people figure their cat wants food, or is bored, or has simply decided to be underfoot for reasons that have nothing to do with them. But your cat isn't following your feet. They're following you. That distinction matters more than it might seem. Cats are independent by design. They have no biological drive for constant companionship. Unlike animals bred specifically for human partnership, a cat has every instinct and every physical ability required to be completely alone and perfectly content. When they choose to reduce distance, silently, without demand, without looking for anything in return, that is not a need being expressed. That is a preference being acted on. Researchers describe this as proximity maintenance, a behavior observed in bonded mammals who stay physically close, not out of requirement, but out of attachment. A study on cat owner bonds found that nearly 2/3 of domestic cats show secure attachment toward their owners, seeking closeness, showing reduced ease when separated, and settling when the person returns. Earlier, I told you, there's one behavior that looks like your cat has completely checked out. This is it. And you've probably been walking past it every day without knowing what it meant. That silent shadow, 3 steps behind you, saying nothing, asking for nothing, is your cat's version of, I just want to be in whatever world you're in. That's not clinginess. That's loyalty in a species that invented independence. 7. When they sit in front of you and just look at you, nothing else. Has your cat ever done this? You're sitting still, not moving, not offering food or a toy or any kind of invitation. And your cat walks over, sits down directly in front of you, and just looks at you, steady, quiet, present, not asking for anything, not waiting for anything you can identify, just looking. Most people glance back, feel a little uncertain about what's being requested, and look away. Or they assume the cat must want something and go searching for the treat bag. When nothing seems wrong and nothing seems needed, they stop thinking about it entirely. That moment dissolves into the day without leaving a mark. But here's what that moment actually is. And this is what I've been building toward since the beginning of this video. Your cat does not need to be in front of you. They have an entire house. They have warm patches of light on the floor, hidden corners, high shelves, windows with views you don't have access to. They chose to come and position themselves in front of you, specifically, for no reason that serves any practical need. That quiet act of simply orienting toward you, sitting still, doing nothing, wanting nothing, is, in the architecture of feline connection, the highest form of it. It doesn't escalate. It doesn't perform. It simply exists, and it is everything. Researchers studying feline cognition have found that cats use their owners as a social reference point. They look to the people they're bonded with to read ambiguous situations, to understand whether something unfamiliar is safe or worth concern. A study on this behavior found cats actively tracking their owner's emotional cues when evaluating something new in their environment. Your cat isn't staring at you because something is wrong. You are their orientation point. You are how they make sense of the world around them. And here's where it gets deeper. This behavior doesn't just tell you something about your cat. It tells you something about what you've become to them. In the first section of this video, we talked about the slow blink. Your cat choosing to close their eyes in front of you as an act of trust, making themselves briefly, deliberately vulnerable. This is the same impulse extended outward. They're not closing their eyes for 3 seconds. They're walking across the room, sitting down in front of you, and staying there, open, still, present, letting you be the thing they came toward on purpose. That's not your cat doing nothing. That's your cat telling you, in the only language they have, that you are the one they chose. To your cat, you are not a caretaker. You are not the one who fills the bowl. You are their compass, the thing they orient toward, return to, and stay near when everything else is uncertain. You are their home.